Recording.
Okay, well, there's my first mistake with my brand new Sena Evo. I think it's the 10C model. Actually, I know it's a 10C model. I pushed the record button, or the camera on button, I should say, and then you have to hit the button again, actually, to get the camera to start recording. So all of what I just kind of alluded to, I guess, was take one, even though it's unedited, because it just didn't record. So there's my first little crack at video blogging. So I'll try again to kind of give you an idea of what I'm doing. So again, this is the Sena Evo, the 10C model. So I'm just kind of playing around right now with the camera settings, and then see what kind of audio I get out of this, how much of the road noise, the wind, etc. And just kind of play around with it, see how good it is. Just picked it up 2 days ago, actually. So this is my first real blog. It was raining like hell yesterday, so it wasn't really the day I wanted to get out and try this out. So just driving down the Waverley Road in Dartmouth, on my way to O'Biddy's to meet Rob Trescott, the Dead Knot. And you probably know him from some of his videos. Pretty good at what he does, actually, and kind of talked me into doing a little bit of this myself. Thought it's not a bad idea. Kind of like video editing and playing around with video. I haven't really done too much like this, where I'm kind of narrating as I'm riding. So I'm on, just to kind of give you an idea, I'm on a 2018 Road Glide special. Might have saw that in the first little clip, because I'm pretty sure that recorded. Sorry. So this motorcycle belonged to my brother. He was Clayton. He went by Hutch, so he's the original Hutch. I'm called by some of my friends, most of my ski friends actually, Hutch, and there were a few Ians at work, so kind of became Hutch at work when I moved here to Nova Scotia as well. But for the purposes of the motorcycle, really there's only one Hutch. My brother bought this again in 18, brand new, and rode it that summer. I was lucky enough to go out. Rented a street glide from Kane's, Harley-Davidson in Calgary, where my brother picked up this machine, and we went out to Banff and around to Cranbrook, spent the night there, and kind of came back the southern route, back around to where he was staying there in Black Diamond. So it was a pretty good ride. Weather was half decent. Day 2 a little bit wet, but all in all we had a good time. This was his passion. His passion was riding, and I rode a bit when I was younger, but my first wife didn't really think it was a good idea for me to have a motorcycle, and I don't know, I guess it didn't work out anyway, but I did listen to her there. But I did enjoy riding a couple of times with my brother on the Harleys, and rode street glide actually both times, and gave me ability, I guess, to kind of see what the cruising was all about. Back in the 80s and 87, I bought a VFR 750 Interceptor. Bought that down in Richmond, British Columbia. I was living in Port Hardy at the time. Wasn't really too much into road bikes. It was a pretty powerful machine to kind of be my first real road bike. Before that, the early 80s, kind of had a little, what I turned into an enduro. I don't think that's really what it was built to be. Up in the Charlottes, we did a lot of biking down the logging roads, exploring as a kid. It's about 15, I guess then, 14, 15. My dad was a bush pilot, so we kind of ended up there from Newfoundland. It was a lot of fun, actually. Kind of were able to explore. Had my two good friends there, the Kohlers. Kurt had an XL 250, sorry, an XR 250, and that was a great machine. That's really what I wanted. Then my buddy Robbie ended up buying the XR 200. Guys were pretty good back then as kids. They'd let you ride and play around. We were pretty tight group of friends there in a place called Sandspit, and now the Haida Gwaii. It's not called the Queen Charlottes anymore. Yeah, from Newfoundland to the Charlottes, it was quite a difference. My Newfoundland accent was pretty hard for most people to understand, and made life as a kid kind of interesting, if you want to call it that. But I did have a pretty good group of friends, and after a couple of years being there, it was good. I kind of fit in and kind of lost a little bit of my Newfoundland accent so people could understand what I was saying. But yeah, it was a really good place to grow up. 4 years there, and a lot of fishing, a lot of coho fishing. Ended up getting my Suzuki. I think it was a little 100cc two-stroke. My dad's friend was up in Terrace, and my dad knew how much I wanted the motorcycle, and my dad was a good man that way. He did his best to make sure that we never wanted. Normally that's food and a roof over your head, but in this case I kind of got lucky, and kind of hard, I guess, growing up there, and some of the tribulations and bullying and things like that you go through. But long story short there, I did get the motorcycle, or the little enduro street machine, scooter almost. And I don't think the designers of that motorcycle really thought it was going to go some of the places that I brought it, because there was nowhere I couldn't go. Following the boys on their Honda XRs. So yeah, it was a lot of fun, actually. So yeah, that was my riding, and then later on I kind of bought that VFR 750. Beautiful machine. Couldn't believe how powerful it was. I did definitely respect what that machine could do. Never ventured into going out. Like to have fun like most kids, but not while on that machine. That was just one thing that I never did. So yeah, I had that for a few years, and ended up selling it. Moved to Edmonton, kind of got into more of the mountain biking there around the city. So I guess I was still on two wheels. I just had to work a little bit harder on that. Looks like they've tarred the road here. Kind of feel it underfoot. So I'll be taking it easy here, just trying to stay off these snakes, tar snakes. Crap, I hate them. nothing worse, but the roads are pretty good here and dry, so that's at least a good part of it. But I don't think I'll be going back home this way. So yeah, back to Hutch. My brother was military. He left before we went up when we went west, and he rode pretty much his entire life. Had a Silver Wing first, and then he got rid of the Hondas and got into the Harleys. And yeah, he really enjoyed it. It wasn't really something that I thought I would get into. I thought I'd always be a rice rocket kind of guy, you know, who really wants to cruise around on a Harley-Davidson. But when my brother passed, and because of those couple of times going out on the Harley with him, I did actually enjoy them. A lot of torque, a lot of low end. Yeah, shit. That's not too much fun. Okay, so yeah, watch out for the fucking tar on the road. Takes the fun out of this ride. It's one of my favorite rides, right around the lake. Yeah, so when my brother passed, the bike had to be sold off, part of the estate, and a good friend of his, the colonel, was taking care of all that, and knew I rode, and that we were out a few times, kind of asked me if I was interested, but really it was a little bit out of my price range, to be quite honest. These machines are very expensive. The bike had just over 8,000 kilometers on it, so it was relatively just broken in. And a big part of that too is I didn't really have a garage, so pretty hard to store it here in the winter. It's not like in Nova Scotia we can ride all year. I went out with a friend of my brother's who had been posted here from Edmonton, and they were good friends, and we went out actually on the first anniversary of my brother's death, as far as his birthday went, so it would have been his 57th birthday. Looks like this is where all the tar shit's going on. Good way, I guess, to keep the roads and the cracks a little cheaper, but pain in the ass if you're on a motorcycle. There they are. The rest of this road should be good. It's hard to talk and concentrate on what you're trying to do here. So Rob said that there was a place, the Fireman's Museum in Fall River, that would actually store bikes, and you get a tax write-off for doing that. So that's really what I did. I ended up texting the colonel back. He actually lowered the price. Knew that it was going to be a pain trying to move it from Creston, and he was trying to lock up the estate, get things organized. Kind of gave me a price that I couldn't refuse. I had talked to my brother about buying the bike before, and it was actually less than a number that we were talking about. So I did buy it from for the estate from that amount, and I actually topped up that amount. The money was going to his wife Leanne anyway, so I topped that money up and made it the price that my brother and I had talked about as we brought him back to Creston from the Calgary hospital.